Here's a good question. I had said in the talk that people need a path, and sometimes materials can provide that. And this person asks, yeah, that's true, and oftentimes, though, the path is not authentic, but because people hide behind the studies. How can you make sure the group doesn't get so focused on what they're studying that they don't share their lives? Well, that's a good question, I think, in a couple of ways. One is that you pick the study well. If you're trying to have people share about their lives, and you've got a study that's combined of a lot of yes/no questions, or the little fill in the blank, questions that says the study's about Genesis, and it says, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth, and then you go to the study and it says, in the beginning God created the heavens and the blank. Well, you're not going to get a lot about their parenting struggles or their marriage or dating struggles in that kind of study. They're going to be able to hide behind those questions. So I would really focus on picking the studies well if you are trying to have them process. Remember, like Stephen Covey said, begin with the end in mind. Well, if the end that I have in mind is people processing, I've got to ask myself a question. Do these questions really lend themselves to that? Number one. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't do that kind of study and have processing, but you've got to understand that the study is going to get in the way. So what we have to do is maybe do the study, okay? And then we morph into another section in the group, just like in a class in school. Before you got to the grades where you went to different classrooms in different hours, the teacher would say, okay, class, now we're done with math, and now we're going to move into reading. Well, you might be done with the study, and now we're going to move into, remember we talked about we wanted to share about our lives. And so you have different kinds of questions that you allow that to happen in. But the third way is that you can actually take a study and as the leader, focus on by questioning, bringing people into the context of the study. Let's say you're studying, a passage or a book or something, and you just ask, what I'd like for us to do is just go around the circle and talk about a way that we have seen this apply in our own lives, or what would be a situation where that you can think of in your life that it's really going to be difficult to do what we just read, or where have you had a situation where this didn't work so well, or where do you feel like you're ill-equipped to do what it's saying here? See, you can use almost anything and morph it into asking questions that bring people involved with it. And then the other thing is, you're the traffic cop if you're the leader, right? And if everybody's hiding, then I would just start to notice that and comment on it. Say, we've been really involved in this material all night. We haven't heard a lot about what's going on with some of you. And so once you begin to name it, then the group can begin to work on it.